Recollacking YouTube, looking like Uncle Fester up in this motherfucker. All jokes aside, YouTube. All jokes aside, here's that wand I was working on. You see me wrap wands before. I spray painted the other half black and tied some black leather to it once it was done drying. And then I podged the entire thing. After I cut the excess off the tie, I put a spot of black spray paint to cover up the cut mark on the leather. And then once the black paint dried, I covered it in the Mod Podge. But trying to step up the quality of my wands. It's not done drying, but this is the wand I made to replace the one I lost in my collection. Upon carving the wands, I realized that if I get a thicker stick and carve it into a smaller one, it's gonna have more stability than carving a skinny stick into something else, you know. So I'm trying to make the product better. I've been pretty consistent on my wand business. I have the shipping process relocated to my apartment. So every time someone orders a wand, I can, as soon as the money hits my bank account, boom, I box it up, send it out to you as quickly as possible. I have a new mini sander, as you've seen on YouTube, and I'm getting used to creating wands with it. My first attempt at a replacement bombed miserably. It was too... I carved it from a skinnier stick, and it snapped way too easily. But then carving this one from a fatter stick, there's some stability to it. It doesn't have very much bend to it, and it just looks good. So I'm stepping up the quality of my wands at the same awesome price of $24. Wands like this will be offered on my next batch of wands on Etsy.com. But here's the difference. Okay, I'm going to have gold copper on the bottom and a nice brown leather on top to accent a black handle. 3 different colors. It's vibrant, it's alive, you know. And when I'm stepping up the quality of my wands, this one turned out even better than the last one I tried to make, to be quite honest. There's no bend to it, it's hard to bend, it's stiff as a board, and it has a nice weight, a nice energy to it. This is how I better my product. Better my product, get more sales, that's how it goes, YouTube. Now the Mod Podge is still drying on the black leather handle, but that's alright. I want to stick it by the window. Whoa, shite. Forgot I had that extension from my desk out. And close that real quick. And don't worry about that. Alright, so now we're going to prop this wand up on some rocks to dry. Trying to finish a product that looks good, that looks sellable, that's like, okay, fans want it. It feels like a wand as soon as you pick it up. You know what I'm saying, YouTube? And the replacement I make, I lost a wand in my collection. I made one to replace it. It snapped way too easily. I started thinking, okay, you know what about the rest of my wands? I started checking a couple of the wands in my batch that I carved. They were carved too skinny. They snapped way too easily. I'm like, no, I can't be selling that kind of crap. I gotta step up my game. If the wands are gonna look good with the copper and the leather handles, then they have to be nice and solid. So after experimenting and carving with my own wand, I've discovered a fresher way to make all the wands. This wand is nicely calibrated, by the way. I am what you would call a gifted practitioner of the craft. Sometimes when I walk around town, my shadow has demon wings. I'm not even shitting you. As a professional wand maker, I get my supplies from the Wonder Gift Shop. There is another shop here in town called Pan's Grove, and I don't even associate with the owner. I don't even know the person. I've always gone to the Wonder Gift Shop to get my quartz. That's where I got my quartz crystal to build my scepter. Yeah. I have a quartz crystal that I bought at the reptile gardens when I saw a Malaysian king cobra just chilling out at the zoo. That's the closest it ever came to my favorite animal. I love the reptile gardens. It's a badass zoo. All the pretty animals, the exhibits. And when you go to the zoo, don't tap on the cage like a douchebag. Just stare at the animals. They're pretty. Leave them alone. They're in their natural environment for the most part. You know, have respect for the animals. Well, I'm just getting started on my rant. I had just a little bit of Jack Daniels, a little bit of Old English 40, and some Dr. Pepper mixed with the JD. Yeah. I'm going to the Rockstar Music Store to get some guitar strings when they open. It's the first thing I'm doing. I like inspiring people to play guitar. That keeps the art alive. I'm not threatened by competition. I think it's awesome because music is a universal language that unites us all. Smoking a Marlboro NXT, I'm gonna click that menthol. Now when I'm making the wands, I carve them as you see on video with the trash can underneath. And the couple of wands that didn't snap very easily, that were a bit more difficult to snap and a bit more solid, I kept. And I got them all painted up. Now here's how this is going to work. For this batch of wands, I want to get all the wands carved and painted up before I add handles. Okay? So if I get a couple of wands painted up like the ones I just got done painting, dude, I got a product that's worth selling. I copy what I've applied to my own wand and sell it with the other wands. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get more customers. Gathering sticks is not a problem, but sometimes carving the wands is difficult. You carve them too skinny, they snap too easily. You don't want that for your wand. You want something that is solid and lasts a good minute, you know. I tried to do that with every wand, but sometimes the demand, you know. Yeah. This wand business seems the way to go. A lot of people are supporting it, and I appreciate it. Applying my own new applied techniques to my wand making. The wands just got 10,000 times better than they were before. So if you thought they were good now, you don't even know. I posted a picture of one carved out, and the one I posted snapped way too easily. So I remade it with the exact same color scheme, and it's solid as a rock. The one that you just saw me put on the rocks to dry. The nice thing about being able to carve them on the vice clamp and spray paint them on the vice clamp, I'm pretty much minimizing the mess when I make my art. What else would you call it? Because I would call it a holdable work of art. Even if you can't get the wand to work naturally for you, it's still a holdable work of art. That's the way I look at it. People who watch my videos are willing to pay that because, hey, it supports me and it gives them something to look forward to. On a side note, American Dad, season 16, episode 16, you know it was going to happen. I had to reference it. I seen that new episode, and I was like, that shit had me spurging hard. Like, that shit was fucking funny. Let me show you the ropes. Oh, watch out, there's like 6 other ropes on campus. Fucking Roger, dude. Oh. You guys don't even know it. She's gonna be fine. The look on Haley's face was fucking priceless, bro. That's gotta be a sign I'm gonna build my dream house. I swear. Homeboy Scotty bought an acoustic guitar and he's really digging it. And if I can encourage my friends to learn to play guitar, it's a great outlet. It's a great stress reliever. Learning a musical instrument. It doesn't necessarily have to be guitar. It could be cello, violin, banjo, whatever, dude. That's the power of music. I'm working on my album and I'm listening to the songs I've created so far, and I'm like, yo, some of these songs are kind of catchy. My favorite song on the new album's gotta be Smoking Cannabis in the Clock Tower. That's my favorite song of all time. As far as the new album goes, I like the way it sounds. It just worked out so beautifully. I got back from the Ozzy Osbourne concert and I wanted to write a song, and just I had the inspiration to create, watching your idols perform in concert. It just gets the blood flowing, like, yeah, let's get it. Rock and roll, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying, you two? Not to mention the concert center was right next to a humongous clock tower when I went to it, so, The wand I took to the concert, I wanted to fix the tip so it looked a bit nicer. I ended up having to make it shorter, but I was able to save it. It looks really good. This is the same wand that I brought to the Ozzy Osbourne concert. I was able to fix it, make the tip look a bit more uniform. I hand sanded this. The difference between this wand and the wand I have drawing on the windowsill, this one was sanded by hand. I literally wrapped sandpaper around the stick and just sanded it, you know what I'm saying? That's how I made my wands for the longest time. That would blister the fuck out of my hands. Collecting sticks in the cold weather, I didn't care. Don't care. As long as I made some way to make the fans happy and make a living and continue doing my hobby, it didn't matter. I'm like, you know what? I'm doing something for me for a change. I'm not just sitting on my ass and being a lazy bastard, you know what I'm saying? I'm at least trying to make some fucking honest money. Yeah. I was able to save this wand, and the remake looks sick as shit. I keep it on my wand stand. There are some wands in my collection I don't really want to get rid of if I can help it. If I can, you know what I'm saying? If you go attached to the wands in your collection for a certain reason, you know. And upon working with the hand sander, I wasn't quite used to it, but now I'm kind of used to it. You know what I'm saying? The wands that I made that are more solid, they look good. I tested them, tried snapping them in half before I painted them. Hard as fuck to snap, even with these biceps. Okay? And that's the kind of wand I want to sell to my customers. They're hard to break, and they're handmade. You know, like I said, stepping up the quality of my wands. And here's the thing of it. 4th of July happened just recently, so trust and believe I'm making a red, white, and blue wand for this next batch. Trust and believe that. These wands are made in America by an American. Trust and believe that. I've definitely done enough drinking for the evening. I got a pretty good buzz going. I'm not like stupid drunk, like, hey, what's up, you guys? No, but I got a good enough buzz going. I'm not complaining, dude. Sometimes life is too short to complain sometimes. I mean, we're all going to struggle at some point. If you come out of it all right, then, yeah. I got a full day ahead of me. No one of my buddies wants to buy my old amp, but it'll help him get better at guitar. And that's the way to keep the music scene alive. You know, that first amp helped me get better at guitar. So now it's going to help someone else get better at guitar. Trust and believe that. You know, and that's a great way to look at it. I don't want my phone to die. I might as well charge that sumbitch up. I use an iPhone. It doesn't matter what phone you use. Use whatever phone you like. Use an Android. It don't matter. People be like, oh, my phone's better than your phone. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. At least you have a phone you can use. I'm grateful for what I can get. Bloom. Alright, let that bastard charge up. Huey. You ever rid a horse bareback with no saddle? Nothing but the reins to control where the horse goes? That's real fun right there. Get ready to pass out for the evening. Hold up. The beast of a dog collar off. And the bandana off. Now, instead of wearing the bandana on my head, I've been wearing it around my neck. Letting that sunlight hit the top of my head in the hopes that it will make my hair grow faster, and that definitely seems to be the case. So let the haters talk smack. I don't care anymore, dude. I have a legit wand business, and these haters are just jealous. It's so sad. Now my final rants for the evening. Save the best for last. I am so sick and tired of single men using single moms for pussy. So tired of it. If you cannot handle the responsibility of helping raise someone else's kid, why you fucking them in the first place? And you know, I can hear what guys are gonna say. Yeah, but single women use single dads for pussy for dick all the time. Yeah, but it's never seen as a bad thing when it happens to men because of that negative stereotype that all men want is sex. That negative stereotype's what fucks us in the end, right? It's never seen as a bad thing when single women use single dads for dick and money, but as soon as a single man uses a single mom for pussy, oh, he's a fucking asshole. You know, that's too far. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. I don't like it any more than you do. That's life, YouTube. And here's the thing of it. If you want to complain about it as a man, if you want to complain about it as a man, that's hilarious. Because sometimes women have it harder and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just life and it's bullshit. So you make the best of it. Because you want something that triggers my inner feminist. Well, let me tell you, YouTube. Let's go to Google. Let's Google the word sexism and see what the definition has to say. Because the definition of sexism, according to Google, triggers my inner feminist, and you'll see why. I hate to be this blunt with my point, but sometimes this is what it takes to ruffle a couple of raven feathers. Be like, hey, listen here. Sexism. Yeah.
Typically against women on the basis of sex.
Typically against women on the basis of what? Aw, dude. Typically against women on the basis of gender is basically what they said. Really? Now, if you Google the word sexism, it says prejudiced, stereotyping, or discrimination. Note, okay, YouTube, pay attention. Note the word stereotyping, because when you skip a couple words, it says typically against women. That makes this definition an oxymoron, because the negative stereotype is that sexism only happens to women. This is the kind of female victimizing bullshit that I'm sick and tired of. We're supposed to empower women. We're supposed to empower them with body positivity. But the definition of sexism is typically against women. Really, YouTube? Now, if a guy bitches about it, no one gives a fuck. And I hate to say it, but that's the truth. One of the female YouTubers I'm subscribed to by the name of Sydney Watson, she's an immigrant from Australia who recently moved to America. You know, so I hope her life goes a little bit better than what she's been bitching about on her vlogs. But one of the things she pointed out, 2 clothing stores in Australia, her native land. One store featured a shirt that said, "Boys will be boys." And some feminazi bitch got triggered by it, so she took to social media and bitched about it. And the shirt that said, "Boys will be boys," was taken down. The clothing store owner apologized for being sexist, like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Okay? The same country, there was a man in Target who seen a shirt that said, "Women are smarter." He bitched and complained to Target, Australia, saying the shirt was sexist. What happened? Target said, "This shirt is meant to encourage women, to empower them. It's part of our youth lineup series. We're not going to remove it." So basically, the man got told, "I know it's sexist, but shut the fuck up, Buttercup." Now, men everywhere, of course, were outraged by this injustice, screaming hypocrisy, because women complain about sexism all the fucking time, but when it happens to a man, no one bats a fucking eye. At least when women complain about sexism, it gets dealt with. People take notice to it. But when a man complains about sexism, no one gives a shit. Because that negative stereotype, sexism only happens to women and men are the assholes. And that negative battle of the sexes bullshit is what's kept our society brainwashed for years. You want to call me a sexist asshole for saying it, but it's the fucking truth. Women who grew up playing with Barbie are either narcissistic or they hate their body. Okay, that's too far. Whoa, Cobra, calm down. Grew up materialistic. I did a rant on that shit on a previous video. If you follow me on the channel, you know what's up. Knock on wood. But if I ever have kids and I'm living in my dream house and my little daughter says, Daddy, can I have a Barbie? I'm going to be like, no, but you can have some finger paints instead. That's not fair. All my friends play with it. I don't care. I'm not going to have that bitch brainwashing you. You're a strong, independent woman and you don't need some plastic figure dictating how life is supposed to be. This is why I suggested the strong woman dolls. To be quite honest, it's because Barbie is old-fashioned. These women are being brainwashed to hate the way they look. They're being brainwashed to slut-shame each other, slut-shame themselves. And they grow up super materialistic, gotta have the best of everything. And that's the Barbie, culture we live in. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. The Me Too Barbie culture we live in. These fucking snowflakes. They're gonna whine because Starbucks is out of their favorite foam. Oh, boo, fucking who? I gotta grab some water. Gotta stay hydrated after drinking. That's just good for the kidneys. If men want to complain about how unfair it is because sexism affects them too, let's examine the facts. When you look up the word sexism on Google, it says typically against women, which is a negative stereotype that victimizes women as a whole. So if you really want to fucking complain, let's look at that for starters. Not to mention that women have been given the rights to produce children. That being said, men have no right to complain. That's not victimizing women, that's the truth. And before you bitch and say you're just being a kiss ass, here's the thing of it. When the woman in Australia complained that the Boys Will Be Boys t-shirt was sexist, even though it wasn't, it got removed. She got her big apology. But when the man complained about the Girls Are Smarter t-shirt, which is clearly a lot more sexist than the Boys Will Be Boys t-shirt, he got told, we're not doing shit about it. And I guarantee you, if there was a shirt in Target that said boys are smarter than girls, women would be so triggered. They would be like, you have to remove that. That pisses me off. That's sexist. And if Target said, we refuse to remove it because we're trying to encourage boys to be stronger and more independent, blah, 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 it's part of our youth series, they would have the shit sued out of them. And eventually the shirt would get removed. Women bitch about it, it gets taken care of. Men bitch about it, we get told to shut the fuck up. And you can complain about how unfair it is, but the truth about sexism is it affects both genders. When you're this negative stereotype that sexism only happens to women, it victimizes women, like I've said, and it also makes men look like huge assholes. So then when mothers talk to their daughters because they're too young to date, all men are just assholes. It's convenient because then by the time she's old enough to date, she found a guy she really likes. And right off the bat, she's nervous and pissed off because of that female feminazi bullshit that she's been fed her entire life. Why are you focused on all men? Focus on the good men you have in your life. And here's the thing of it. Women bitch when society calls women hoe, bitch, slut, whore, whatever, Women are tired of that crap, and I hear you. I'm tired of men being called a pig and a rapist. That's fair. That's what gender equality looks like. It's acknowledging both sides have a fucking problem. Smoking in the boys' room. See, it doesn't have the same ring. Vaping in the boys' room. I see these fucking assholes who are vaping. It's so much better for you than cigarettes, but then now it's being treated just like cigarettes. They're finding out that vaping is a lot worse for you than smoking an actual cigarettes. The vape pens are exploding in people's faces. I'm like, bro, you're smoking a 5% nicotine juice that tastes like tobacco because you think smoking's bad for you. Stop and realize how stupid you're being right now. If you really want to smoke that bad, just have a cigarette. Okay, you shouldn't smoke. It's bad for you. It's addicting, just like caffeine, just like sugar, just like fast food. But you know what pisses me off about the whole fucking ordeal? You can't advertise tobacco on social media. That's illegal. But you can advertise fast food, alcohol, and pills that have 10 different side effects. The fuck is that bullshit? And here's the best part of it. Social media is cracking down on people for smoking and using tobacco on their websites. Social media bullying and bullying on social media, that's the real cancer on social media. So you want to prosecute me for smoking a Marlboro NXT? Kiss my Asperger's. Social media bullying's the real cancer here. Bust that menthol bead, and that's how I do. Here's a cool trick you can do with the Zippo. Twilight Zone. Yeah. I'm a bit drunk and the wick's probably not bent just right, but I love that trick. You pull that flame away and then you give the Zippo a flick. At the same time, you wave your hand. It's an optical illusion. It makes it look like you just stole the flame and shot it back into the Zippo, you know. Yeah. That's what makes life fun. Those optical illusions, the sleight of hand. That's what real magic's all about. Even beyond the sleight of hand, real magic works on coincidence. All these trolls trying to fuck with my wand business, it hasn't worked. People are still wanting to buy one. And people see me stepping up the product quality, they're like, now they're really wanting one. Even the one that didn't last very long because it snapped, I took a picture of it and posted it on Facebook. People are like, yo, that looks 1,000 times better. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about, getting that hype up. Like, yeah, dude. So by the time the next batch comes out, people are like, I want one. I don't care what anyone says, I'm buying one. You look at the wand reviews and you see most of them are 5 stars. Those are the reviews you gotta focus on. Anything less is just trolls talking smack. And I told these trolls, take your satire somewhere else. I'm trying to run a professional business here. And it's so professional that I'm even stepping up the quality of my wands, making them even better than they were before. And still charging the same awesome price of $24. You can't beat that. This video is not about me smoking a cigarette. It's about me promoting my business as a wand maker, a professional, legit wand maker. Anyone that says my wands are bullshit, they're full of shit because they don't know what I know, you know. People who appreciate the wands in a certain way love my wands. You don't even know, YouTube. You don't even know the stories I've heard from people who own my wands. I'm like, yep, that's the kind of testimony that assures a quality product. And showing people on YouTube, okay, got a new process of making these. What do you guys think? A lot of people are digging it. They're like, hey, that's going to make the wands look so much better. And as proof, I have a wand that made for my collection to replace the one that I lost. And lo and behold, I can always gather more sticks, so it's not a problem. But lo and behold, it looks good. It's a lot more solid. It's not as bendy, you know. Demon Wings is a song I'm producing on my next album. It kicks so much ass. You don't even know. The opening is perfect. When I get the guitar just right, it's going to be so beautiful with the album. I'm not in a rush to complete it because I know when I do make it, it's going to be awesome. You don't even know. I'm taking my time to create this spooky metal that no one's ever heard before. Of course, people have mixed power metal and black metal, but not on the level that I've mixed it. You're mixing power metal with black metal and traces of hip hop. It gives it a hook, something you can dance to, something you can headbang to at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Something that just makes you want to kick ass and take names. That's Hell's Advocate. Got the album cover done. Now I'm just getting the songs written. You can see the album cover on my Facebook page, King Cobra's Nest. King Cobra's Nest is my Facebook music page. You can follow me there and see some of my music that fans have stolen and re-uploaded as YouTube videos. So you get the track for free, basically, that kind of thing. And I see women getting enraged by a shirt that says boys will be boys, but when they see the definition of sexism on Google, no one says anything. That's confusing as shit, to be honest. I'll take a bloody leak, have a drink, have some water, keep my kidneys hydrated, take a piss, pass out. You know the drill. Stepping up the quality of my wands, and I think I'm stepping in the right place.